So yesterday we broke the news Demi Lovato is recovering from an apparent overdose. Since then, celebrities and fans alike taking to Twitter in support of the star. Lovato is reportedly awake and recovering with her family after being hospitalized. But you know, topics like this are never easy, especially after the 25-year-old singer, she hinted at falling off the wagon, so to speak, in her recent song, Sober. The lyrics say, "Mama, I'm so sorry, I'm not sober anymore." So how do we help someone in need, and why do people relapse? Here to help answer those questions is David Marlon of American Addiction Centers. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is something really hard, and you know, if you've never done drugs, it's so hard for me to understand. So it is a hard topic to talk about.
It is, but it's a very important topic to talk about because we're in the midst of an opiate epidemic.
Yeah, we hear that all the time, but you never know really until it hits home. So what is a relapse, and why do people relapse?
Well, addiction is a chronic, progressive disease that does not go away, and there is no known cure for it.
Okay.
So part of addiction entails relapse.
Okay.
Now, someone who is recovered from the disease doesn't have to relapse,
right,
but it does happen if they don't
right,
attend to it.
we have some of the reasons maybe why someone would. Can you go through those, Doc?
Well, people relapse because they're not attending to their recovery.
Okay.
And it's not something to be taken lightly. And if you are recovering from alcohol or from drugs, this is a lifelong issue, and you need to pay attention to it on a lifelong basis.
And a lot of people do really well. There are programs out there, and they get out, and they do really well, and they keep going. But it's the relapsing that we saw with Demi Lovato, and I'm sure, you know, millions of other people go through it too. What are some of the signs maybe of relapse if we have a loved one that might be hurting here?
Well, folks will start overestimating their recovery, or they'll underestimate the power of their disease. If people are going to meetings or they're going to counseling, then they decide they don't need to do that anymore. Right. Those are signs.
So what about dropping in their financial status, maybe their attitude? Are those things to look for too?
Those are, as well as isolation.
Okay, so they're pulling away from the people, their support system, maybe having a negative attitude. What should we do then? I mean, how can we help someone who we think is showing some of those signs?
Well, a person who has been in recovery at one time, family members can support them to re-engage in their recovery.
Okay.
They also shouldn't enable them if they've begun drinking. They have to recognize that if they have the chronic progressive disease, that it's something very serious. And
I know that you talk about creating boundaries as well. So it's so hard, like you said, you can't enable them, but you want to help them do what makes them happy. What kind of boundaries are we talking about?
Well, if someone's actively using, giving them money, giving them food, even giving them a sweater if they're cold, is enabling them.
Wow.
The only thing you should do is encourage them to get treatment.
Such good tips. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And, you know, if we wanted to sign up for your treatment center, or what do we do? I mean, you can take a tour, you can go through, you can call. Yeah,
I encourage people to check it out. We're at 702-228-8520. Call anytime, 24/7.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is such a topic that's a hot topic, and we hopefully won't be talking about it anymore in the future. Thank you so much for joining us.